What's good, everybody? It's your boy Hans.
And this is Tristan.
Welcome to the Hans and Tristan podcast. It's been, 2 weeks? 2
I
weeks?
know. I will take full blame.
Of course you will. Of course you will.
I will take full blame. Okay?
It's not me this time, guys. It
was me. It was me. I apologize.
No, it's all good, man. We're making moves. Our listeners are loyal and they understand. And I appreciate everybody for catching up because I did see our play numbers were still steadily creeping up. So that means people were taking the time to go back and listen to the episodes of the Hans and Tristan podcast that they missed. So we appreciate you guys for hanging there with us. But we're back. We're on schedule and we're here with our thoughts and what we have for you today. We'll be discussing what's going on, what happened with Hurricane Zeta, all those affected. It hit us hard. I think this was one of the, at least I haven't been down here as long as our ATLians have, but Hurricane Zeta, from my span down here, this has been the worst hurricane we've had in a while.
Yeah, no, it was bad. Like, my power was out for 2 days. Like, I mean, thankfully there was no real damage to my property, my house, or whatever. My greenhouse, RIP, is gone.
Oh no,
but it's okay. I know, but I already transitioned everything to my veggie garden, so it's okay. So it wasn't nothing in there, so there was no, tragedies. But yeah, it was definitely my power was out for 2 days. Like I said, I was cooling. My daughter wasn't having it. I know she will never go off and join a cult or be Amish because that ain't really her lifestyle. Given what I saw her going through when the power was out, because she wasn't with it. She was just like, I can't keep reading books. I'm like,
there's only so much I can read, Mom.
Right. And then I had my iPad was charged. I keep my iPad charged, but I only use my iPad for entertainment. So I'm like, well, I got every season of Martin on my iPad. Don't I want to watch Martin? Man, 2 in the morning, she keep keying and Shanae funny and damn, they just gonna break up like that. I'm like, you really invested for somebody who ain't want to watch no damn Martin.
I thought you didn't like it, huh? Hey man, when desperate times call for desperate measures, so
right. Definitely. But I find Martin hilarious, but that's just me.
I'm one of the ones in the other corner. He was just a little too much for me. Don't get me wrong; some of his shows were funny, but I wasn't as invested in watching Martin like I was, say, a Fresh Prince, or you get what I mean, or
no, I was highly invested in Martin,
or a hilarious. Jamie Foxx. But it's different. Jamie Foxx is over the top too, but he's not the same over the top as Martin Lawrence is over the top. You get what I mean? Right. So I don't know. I mean, everybody has this, but don't get me wrong. It was funny. It was funny. It was hilarious, but I wasn't a watcher of every episode, every season.
Oh, I was on it like clockwork. And then when they put it on BET, I was on like clockwork. And then when I broke my ankle, that's when I downloaded every episode because I couldn't move. So I downloaded every episode and I watched every single one. And I laughed like I'd never seen it before.
Yeah, no, Fresh Prince, that's what I was on all the time. And the Jamie Foxx show I really like, so I would watch that,
Shout out to Black comedians.
Yes, shout out to them. He's actually coming out with a new movie. I forget the name of it, but it's supposed to be dope. Jamie Foxx is super talented.
Right?
Super talented. Doesn't get the recognition he deserves.
I agree. When he did Ray. Mm-hmm. That's when we saw him flourish. He got over that In Living Color thing, and he really showed himself. So yeah, and then he could sing. So. Yeah, I read something that his sister recently passed. I'm not sure.
Yes. I didn't. Yeah. No. That was this week. Earlier this week, his sister did pass.
That is so sad, right?
So our condolences to Jamie's family, and that's just hard. And we had a lot of passings this week. We had another Sean Connery. I don't know, James Bond, the first James Bond. He passed away, a couple days ago.
Don't make me cry. What?
Yeah, Sean Connery, yeah.
Oh my God, he has the best voice ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break that to you. I'm sorry.
I had power for 2 days.
I know, I apologize. I'm sorry. I did not mean to hit you with that on air.
I know you could have told me that when I told you my power came back.
I'm sorry, Tristan. I apologize.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to reflect on that after the show because that was
after the show,
like,
you're gonna have to. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Another one. Don't know if you know this too, but Rance Allen passed away too, the gospel singer. So don't know if you know him, but you know that Kurt Franklin song, something about the name of Jesus.
mm-mm.
No, okay.
All
Well,
I know is the one
Rance.
from the Salt and Pepper.
No, okay, got it. So yeah, those were the two most notable one. Of course, Sean Connery being the bigger one since he was a big star. So definitely our
Oh my,
condolences.
2020 is a bald headed bitch. Like, I am so over 2020.
Oh yeah, it's been a rough one. It has. I also want to touch back and say that we are thinking of those who are in Louisiana because they're the ones who got hit the hardest by
It
Hurricane
went
Zeta.
back to
So
back, right? Because they were still
yeah,
recovering from the.
yeah. So Hurricane Zeta was a Category 2 when it hit Louisiana, and as you know, they suffer from flooding because they're so close to this to the Gulf
Right.
of Mexico like that. So they experience a lot of flooding. And what I am also concerned about is, as we know, Tuesday, the election. So I wonder with all the flooding and
How are they
areas being
going
blocked off
to
and
handle
closed,
that?
how are they going to handle that? How are they going to be able to facilitate,
Yeah.
you know, those people who are wanting to still participate and do their civic duty? So it'll be interesting to see whether things are on the up and up in terms of ballots being turned in and counted in the state of Louisiana, given what just happened.
So you know they had early voting. I'm sorry, Louisiana, you're in our prayers.
Mhm.
But listen, so in DC, you know, everywhere they started early voting and everything, right?
Yeah,
So, and then you can also mail in your ballots and all this other stuff. So, you know, DC government been like teleworking since March.
yeah.
And I know a lot of people that work in DC government. I ain't gonna say they're not working and just collecting the check, but they do check their emails, right? So what DC did was they sent out random emails to government workers and they forced them to go count the ballots. And they got to go every day to go count ballots.
Really? I
Yes.
like that though. I
I do
like that.
too, because like you're literally like for real, like DC government issues a lot of money. Like DC government is the only government entity that I know can withstand this long with their people actually working from home, right?
Hmm.
But that being said, let's be real. Like I know people who work for Parks and Recreation. Shout out to my homegirl Yane. Yane work her ass off, but she has people because she's a manager. But she has people who work under her who are lifeguards. You not lifeguarding if you working from home,
Yeah, I'm
but
sorry.
you still getting a check though.
Right.
So people like that who work in, you know, parks and recreations and other entities that aren't really up and running and aren't servicing people, yes, I totally agree. You need to actually go to these facilities and you need to go count balance because you're really getting a free paycheck.
No, I'm with it. I agree with you. Just like that, you're getting a free check. You need to do something. Also, given how when we talked about it, what a couple episodes ago, how voter suppression is real and what's happening, and how these polls are not basically equipped to service the amount of people that are standing in line and wanting to participate. Yeah, please get them up out of there and do some work. So I'm definitely happy to hear that the DC government is doing that. I think that's great. I hope that other governments follow suit and bring out extra workers out there to do the same thing, because we've seen it in Atlanta how in certain places people are waiting 4 hours, like 6 hours just to vote, and that's early voting. So let's let's be clear, we are seeing more turnout than I think we've seen in the past 10 years or so, because if I was reading correctly, I think another big turnout was when that whole Bush Gore, right? That that whole fiasco and what was happening with that. So that was another big turnout. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, the numbers that are happening, and I also read another article saying that Texas has already surpassed with just early voting the amount of voters that it had for the whole election last time.
So what does that tell
So
you?
people are coming out. Honestly, let's think. You're a couple years older than me, Tristan, but I don't think I've
By a
seen.
smidge.
Yeah, just by a little bit, just a little hair. Um, have we seen such a big election?
Honestly, the only one I could think was like really really big at this caliber was when Obama was running for the first time. The first
Right.
time. Because black people like, oh shit. Like we got a real we ain't got the Bill Clinton fake black person. We got a real black person coming in office. So I think that to me was the first time I seen a massive turnout at the polls. And that was truly reflected. But I think with this time, it's so hard because even like I know we had a massive turnout last time, but like you said, it was like so much voter. Like I literally stood in line 4 hours last time just to not even get to the polls. I had to leave, come back, and stand for
Mm,
another 2 hours. Like it was just too much. And I'm an able-bodied person. You're not even thinking about the people who have ailments, who have to stand, who older. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, but these are the tactics they're doing when you have like 400 people supposed to go to one polling place, and you only have two machines available.
Exactly. No, I definitely agree. But I would argue, honestly, even when Obama was running the first time,
I
I
don't
don't know
think
if
it was this big.
yeah, I don't think I've seen this big on both sides. Because now there's even, the Trump's supporters and those people who are really coming out here who are wanting certain values and ideals of this country to stay the same. They're rearing their heads too, because I think they felt like they were suppressed by the Obama administration for 8 years, and they don't want that to happen again. So we're seeing it on both sides. And honestly, man, I don't think I've seen it, but I do agree that we're still seeing the foolishness that's happened in the last election happen now as far as voter suppression and not having enough people to tend to the polls. I When I went and what was it, 2 weeks ago, I think I went to participate in early voting. The line wasn't that long. We stood maybe for an hour, if that, and they did have enough people. But I did see how they even made ways too to help those who are disabled, right? So they had a different line where when you get to a point like they could go straight into it, So and they had a sign if you're above a certain age or if you're pregnant or in some type of wheelchair or anything like that, you can kind of go in and do that. But I was reading in other places where people wait in line, like you said, just to sit to have something happen and say, "Oh, we're shut down. We can't facilitate you right now."
It's a
Um,
mess. I'm
it's
just
it's wild.
happy that they put things in place. This go around. Now, I don't know if they put it in place because of COVID or they put it in place because to cut down on all the fuckery. But either way, it's in place.
Yeah. I saw a headline and I'm going to read more into it and we may talk about it later, but they're saying given with COVID and everything that's happening, right? So we are seeing surges of COVID. So ooh, was it yesterday or 2 days ago we hit another record of daily infections. So the previous record a couple of days ago was like 80,000 and then it went to 89,000 and now it's at 90,000. Now it's almost at 100. And that's a day, in a single day of new cases. So what this other wave. What wave are we on right now? Is this the third wave I think we're on right now? I'm losing track. They're saying it's well, they're hypothesizing because science is always evolving and changing that this wave is coming by asymptomatic people. So what makes COVID so different from
Dangerous.
other infections and diseases is that there are asymptomatic carriers. And
Mm-hmm.
so, for those who don't know what asymptomatic means, it means you're not exhibiting any of the symptoms of COVID, but yet you're still carrying it and you have the ability to spread it, right?
Right.
So, you're still contagious. So, think about having a cold, right? And having a cold virus, but not
But you
having the
don't
runny
know you got a
nose.
cold,
Yeah.
right? So now you
No
just go around
coughing.
kissing everybody, touching it. Like you're going about your daily tasks, and imagine how much we touch other
Mm-hmm.
people, touch other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just being mindful of that is like, ew.
Right.
And then on
So
top of
we're
that, flu season's coming. Like, what the fuck?
flu season's here.
I wouldn't
It's
know because I'm
here.
in the house and my child is in the house. Like,
Right.
even if they opt, like, they really wanted the kids to go back for phase 5 of school, and I'm like,
Hmm.
nah, we'll see y'all in 2021. Not happening. I'm sorry. And then people still got your kids out here trick or treating and stuff.
Yeah. So let's get into that. So Halloween just passed, and I know some cities and even states shut down Halloween, right? But yet and still, there's people out here who are going to do whatever they want to do and do what they feel.
Absolutely.
It's hard to regulate those ordinances when you pass them out, right? So when you have cops to stop trick-or-treaters in every neighborhood, that's
Right.
impossible. So I know, have been seeing people in neighborhoods throwing parties, going trick-or-treating, not wearing masks, and then, acting like everything's okay and COVID's not out here still. So
I see
I
so many kids
know,
in my neighborhood.
right. I know for me in our neighborhood, it was kind of dead, but our neighbors were having a party. So we know that was going
That's
on.
because Black people think quarantining means don't go around new people.
Right.
Now that's not what quarantine is. Like you don't go around no one who does not live in your household. And I'm like, y'all gotta grasp this concept because y'all are part of the reason why. Like you should. First of all, Old National was lit.
Oh, I bet. Come on now.
Lit. I'm talking about
Come
even
on
the
now.
motorcyclists was out, honey.
Yeah,
Old
they were
National was
out.
lit. They was at the little Mexican restaurant up there. I'm
Hmm.
just like, what are y'all doing? Seriously. Like you cannot be that desperate to celebrate that you're gonna jeopardize not just yourself, but everyone you live in the home with, everyone you work with, everyone you come in contact with. It's not that serious. Halloween is not that serious.
Listen, so there's this new term coming out now called quarantine fatigue. And that's one of the reasons we're seeing a lot of this congregating without masks
I'm
and all of
sorry. Let
that.
me write that. What'd you say?
Quarantine fatigue. Yes, it is the new terminology that's out right now. And for those who are suffering from that, there are positive and safe ways to alleviate quarantine fatigue rather than going out there and putting yourself and your loved ones at risk. And that's what people are not understanding. We're not saying you shouldn't be tired of being cooped up. We're not saying that you shouldn't want to socialize and, see people and do that. We're not saying all of that. We understand we're human beings, right? We understand that human beings are not supposed to be isolated. We're social beings. We have those wants and those needs, some of us more than others, Tristan. So
House.
I know you like to stay out. You like
Listen,
your
but
space.
even with the quarantine fatigue, I understand it because I have a child that is a social butterfly. I have a teenage daughter that's a social butterfly. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so she be in this motherfucker having cabin fever. Like her first week, I just knew she was gonna snap. So I get it, right? So what I did for her was, and like legit, okay, let's get out the house, but let's do it safely. So we download this app called All's Trails, and every Saturday we'll go and we'll walk a different trail, me, her, and the dogs. So we're getting
Yeah.
out the house, we're seeing different, but we're being safe about it. The only reason we didn't go yesterday was because it was the aftermath of the hurricane. I'm not about to walk no trail where trees and everything else might be down. Not doing
Yeah.
it. But understanding, like you said, you get it. You get cabin fever, you get quarantine fatigue, all that wonderful stuff. I love it. I'm gonna Google it. But understanding that you still have to be safe because there's no point in you quarantining for all these months and then just going out to subject yourself just because you are in a feeling. You feel like you want to get out the house. You feel a certain way.
And that's exactly it, right? And understand the risk that you're honestly putting yourself in just for a moment of satisfaction. So this hour or two that you spend at this club, this event or social gathering, is it worth, right? The potential cost, the number one, medical cost, right? Number two, the risk of potentially losing somebody or your own life just for that hour or two of social engagement. I don't think it's worth it. And what people are not talking about even more is the lasting effects of COVID. So yes, let's say you contract COVID, right? And then you ended up testing negative for a couple of weeks. That doesn't mean you're done. There's still long lasting effects that scientists and doctors are now reporting about, saying that people have lowered lung capacities, right? People are having heart defects because of COVID. So the lasting effects, that's still a gray area for us. We still don't know exactly what fully comes with COVID once somebody contracts it.
Because it's
So,
new.
mhm.
It's new. And that's the thing, is like, why are we not understanding this? Like it's new. On top
Well,
of the fact, is like you're not even talking about pre-existing
existing. Hmm.
conditions people already have, right? On top of the fact that we've been quarantined, so your immune system is already lowered, okay? Because you're not getting in touch with those regular bacteria that you come in contact with on a regular basis. What?
Well,
Like,
and the part of the reason people aren't getting that too is because this COVID has been hijacked to be a political tool for advancement. So you're getting a lot of misinformation. You're, you know, that
Manipulation.
yeah, and people well, not well, people and political parties are using that to their advantage. So it no longer has just stayed in the realm of a health crisis. It now has become a political agenda and a tool to advance your footing for your career and possible election to some, you know, government place. So I think that plays a part into it as well, so much so that I don't know if you're paying attention in social media where they have little things like now they're saying that they're monitoring disinformation about the health, because even like it's bad when social media is saying, bro, we got to do something about this
Right.
because you guys are being so irresponsible about the misinformation you're putting out there, that they have now hired teams of people to monitor misinformation in regards to this pandemic so they can delete that post so people won't be misinformed. Like it's gotten that bad. And to me, that's just a sad state that we're in, that we can't just see this as a health crisis. That's what it is. But we've turned it into a political agenda to advance our wants and desires. And it's just really sad.
But here's my thing, right? So if you're going to monitor the cases and monitor the misinformation or the abuse of misinformation, right? Start with releasing the number of the negative cases. Because if you notice, all you hear are reports of we have this many people who are positive for COVID, this many people who are positive for this and that. Okay, let's release the negative and the positive. I think that to me will start off on, and that will demolish the ability for anyone to skew numbers and use them for their advantage. If you're
You
putting
think so?
all the information, absolutely, because if you tell me, Tristan, it was 20 people who were tested for COVID, 10 had COVID, 10 different, or 15 had 15, I mean, 5 different, I mean, didn't. That, whatever you tell me after that, it's up to me because I have the information. I can make an informed decision. But if you only give me half the information, I have no idea of the unknown numbers or the unknown amount of people who are actually tested. Because honestly, I know everyone I know that was tested was negative. But everyone Genesis know that was tested was positive. And those were kids. Those were teenagers, right? And we don't even talk
Mhm.
about that demographic and how it affects that demographic.
Right. But I also think what you're requiring is a lot of uniformity um, in a system that is just disheveled right now. So even when you were talking about testing for COVID when this first started, they couldn't even agree on what was the proper test and which test was, you know, more significant or more trusted than the other, right? And then you're seeing how different states are testing differently. Some don't know how to treat false positives, right? So you're asking for, which is not wrong because we should be together, right? You're asking for this country to be on the same page and to be uniform in how it administers its tests and how it quantifies and studies and analyzes its tests. And we're not. If we can't even agree as a state, just the state on Georgia, if we as the state of Georgia can't even agree on how to deal with this, you're expecting the whole country to get it together?
Because you see, Kemp and Keisha was not on the same page.
They were not on the
Kemp was
same
like,
page.
open up. Keisha was like, shut the hell up, sit down. We're gonna close it down.
It's unfortunate, but that's something I don't really see happening. And it's
Right.
sad. And it's sad. And I blame it on Chief.
Of
So
course, because it's from top down. But this is what I'm saying to you, right? Instead of people telling me what to do, right? If you give me all the information, then I can make an informed decision. So I can decide whether I want to. But if you're only telling me, oh, well, this many people, whatever, then to me it just comes off as like, again, you're only telling me half information because you're trying to scare me into doing da. But people like, nah, 10 people got tested, 10 people motherfucking positive. I'm like, oh shit, it's real out there. Like, so I feel like just withholding information or omitting certain information is misleading in and of itself. Anyway, like think about it when you do like your wife, she got a PhD. When you do research and you do your dissertation, you got to give all information, all facts, even if your shit is wrong, even if your theory is wrong. You still got to give, and you got to give them everything, even the kitchen sink. And then you gotta let other people come to their conclusion and how they want to read the information, even though you're still putting your own information, your own spin on it, and what you thought it was and what you think, and further research may need to be done. But still, give me all the information. Don't give me half-assed information and think I'm just going to follow you blindly. Now, granted, I have been, because I've been quarantining, because I'm like, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Right.
But I still feel like if you give people all the information, other people couldn't use it for their advantage.
Right. But here's the thing, though. I think we're getting the backlash or the effects from other people giving what they view as pertinent information. So if we had a governing body, which we do, if we had a governing body that did their job and came together and was uniformed and agreed upon the proper type of information that should be disseminated and what people should really be worried about, then we would have what you're wanting. You get what I'm saying? But here's what happened. We had different entities giving out actual different facts about it, but we weren't getting the whole picture together. So we actually do have all the information, but it's never presented together like you're wanting, because other entities, i.e. news stations, i.e. political people who represent political parties, have hijacked certain pieces of the information and has brought it to light as a pivotal piece of the information, right? So the part about example being asymptomatic, how who was it the governor here who didn't know what asymptomatic meant or anything like that? So that part was being pushed to the forefront, right? And then remember when it first came out, oh, it's just like the flu, like that part was then being pushed to the forefront. So it was never really a whole collective of information to really give us full information of what we're dealing with, how it's being taken into account, how it's presented with everybody. Like we were just getting data just here, sprinkled here, and we weren't getting that. Also, like I said, it was hijacked and made into a political move as well. Because I wonder, had this pandemic not happened during an election year, how would it have been handled? What could we have done? And I don't know if you saw this, but England is about to shut down the whole country for 4 weeks.
But
they're about to shut down the whole country for 4 weeks because they got another wave coming. We've never done that.
Thing. Even when we closed beauty supply stores and or whatever, it was still people out there doing whatever. Like if you go outside right now, still people walking around with no masks on. Still.
But here's what I'm saying though. I feel like what further empowers those people is because we have other segments of our government that are saying that that's okay and not to worry about it.
Right. But if like I 1,000% agree with you. Like if mama's saying put your jacket on, daddy said you ain't got to wear no goddamn jacket outside. What you gonna do? And you don't want to wear a jacket outside. You ain't gonna wear, you gonna go with what daddy said, I ain't gotta wear no jacket. Exactly. Point blank, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's a bigger issue. And it's not understanding that yes, we are individuals. And then you have people like, oh, it's my constitutional right. If I don't want to wear a mask, what the fuck is wrong? What is wrong with you? First of all, don't even get me started on constitutional rights. You see here, like if that's your biggest struggle, if that's your issue, if you telling me that me asking you to wear a mask for the safety of yourself and your family is against your constitutional right, honey, you don't have any struggle. You don't know what the fuck it feels like to have your rights violated. So miss me with like people just want to be from the bottom so goddamn bad. People just want to have a struggle.
Because it's cool.
Right, it's cool. I'm just like, if y'all really know what this shit feel like, y'all will really not understand how like this shit ain't cool.
Listen, man, I trade in the struggles any day. Live a privileged lifestyle.
Listen, you can take these minority women struggles from me any fucking day. Listen, I promise you, I'll give them up gladly.
Listen,
because this shit is real. This shit is every day. I wake up a minority woman every fucking day.
Right.
Okay. So I'm just like, but you use my motherfucking mask.
Yeah. It's getting tough and it's only going to get worse, right? We have elections. People are going to get in line. They're not always going to be 6 feet away from each other. The holidays.
Right after that, I'm about to say right after that, Thanksgiving
and Christmas. Well, for some people, it's Christmas because they don't care about Thanksgiving because as soon as Halloween's over, they start to get
Well, Tristan. I'm the same way. You know me, honey.
Is the tree coming back up? You got it up yet? Or
Let me tell you something. I already pulled all 3 of my trees out the
Did you? Oh my gosh. I already know.
I cannot wait. I can't wait. I'm trying to get a color thing. Genesis is trying to really kill my hot. She's like, every year you say that every year. I'm like, okay, I see you're gonna be a Grinch. But we ready for Christmas over here, honey. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Right. So it's only, in my opinion, going to get worse because if you think they're going to be up in arms about not being able to go to a restaurant, tell them they can't go nowhere for Christmas. Good luck.
They already, honey, they already got them, because I know my sister booked her trip to come here, so.
Yeah, good luck. And I hate to see what they're going to do for Black Friday because I know Walmart's giving their employees off for Thanksgiving. I read
Good.
that earlier
I just
in
don't like
October.
how Black
So
Friday rolled into Thanksgiving and people still got to work like after they like. To me, it's just like there's not near electronic walking this earth that's more important than staying with your family. And why are we acting like that?
right. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I just maybe I'm a pessimist, but I'm seeing more rises. That's what I'm saying. But I will be shopping online. That's what I do.
I ain't shopping nothing because I ain't got nothing I need to buy.
So
And my baby just asked for money, so I'm like,
yeah. Well, my wife be asking for stuff, but that's neither here nor there. So, but yeah. So I'll be doing my shopping online. But I encourage everyone out there, please stay safe. As much as they want to make this a political issue, it's not. It's a human issue.
it is.
This virus doesn't care if you're black, white, Democrat, Republican, liberal.
I thought about.
It doesn't care.
What about the little babies?
Mm-hmm.
People don't even think about that. Like little babies. Little babies can't get tested. I hope not. I hope they ain't shoving them things up a little baby's nose. But then you go around and you go all out in the streets and shit and you bring them little cooties home to your little baby. And little babies can't wear masks.
Gotta be safe. Gotta be safe. As always, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You can listen to the Hans and Tristan podcast wherever podcasts are heard, downloaded, and streamed. So, your Apple, Google Play, wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, hit us up. Shout us out to all our Cali listeners. So I was telling Tristan, we have a lot of support in Cali. So those out there in Cali, we appreciate you guys for listening to the Hans and Tristan podcast. We need to go out to Cali. We're coming. If you listen to the Hans and Tristan podcast, hit us up. If you're from Cali, hit us up. Let us know where to come out, where to come visit. We need to do it. We need to make it happen. We're going to be live from Cali.
Down for a daggone trip, a road trip. Hello.
Ain't nobody driving to Cali, man.
I drove out there with Janelle.
I'm not driving to Cali. I will be on a flight.
See, and that's your problem. You ain't never down for adventure, huh?
I am.
You put comfort over adventure.
That's right.
That's all right. Well, you know what? Tell wife she gonna hop in the car with us. We're gonna be good. We're gonna meet you out there.
You don't know my wife too well. She is not hopping in.
She ain't got no choice.
All right. Well, you let her know.
It's gonna be a girls trip / Hans and Tristan podcast.
I'll meet you guys at the other side. So
oh my God. Y'all ain't no fun.
Well, appreciate you guys for listening. As always, hit us up on our IG, Hans and Tristan podcast. Let us know what you guys think. We're also on YouTube, so check out our YouTube page. Subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you guys think of our beautiful, shining faces. Let us know how you like Tristan's multiple wigs. She changes it up. So we want to hear from you guys, and we appreciate your support. We'll see you guys next week, and maybe we'll have some news about the election. We'll see.
We will. And it's going to be pleasant news. We're going to speak it into existence.
There you go. Amen.
We're going to manifest goodness and greatness and change because we are change agents.
Yes, we need change. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.